have a great interview. Would you like to share who do we have with us today, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a young man who has been working in the San Diego community for so many years as a CIF coaching championship coach. He's now stepped into a huge platform that should have been done many years ago, but God let him be the one with the vision to bring it forth. He is the San Diego Unified School District Middle School Sports Coordinator. And you know, as well as I know, we both grew up in the San Diego Unified. We should have had these sports years ago, but we have them now, and they're doing great jobs, and it's preparing kids for high school, for middle school, which is a great thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the coach, CIF coach, Lonnie Jones. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on.
Well, let me just start off by asking you, what was your motivation, and tell us the sports that are now being in the middle school that our kids can take advantage of.
Part of my motivation was I grew up in Park and Rec. So, back in the day, the parks were flooded with us as kids. It was a safe haven. Nowadays, the parks are not as fluent as they used to be. So when I was coaching high school, I used to hear a lot of my fellow colleagues complain about private schools and charter schools, AKA verbiage was stealing kids. So with this platform, I wrote it from a high school coach's perspective, presented it to the district, and we've been full steam ahead. So basically what happens now is, as a high school coach, we are able now to go to the middle school level legally with CIF. In the past, we couldn't do that. It was called undue influence and recruiting. But now we're able to go down. We fund the sports out of the district office, so there's no cost to the middle school site. And currently we offer 7 sports. In the fall, we offer basketball and track. Currently we're in our winter season of soccer and volleyball. And February 23rd, we begin tryouts for flag football, cheer, and wrestling.
Wow.
I think it's very important too, because I had the opportunity to grow up at Kennedy Elementary at the time, and Donald Robinson, who later went on to become a legendary dance teacher at the School of Performing Arts, he started at Kennedy with me, and I ran track in 3rd grade, but it was through Park and Recreations, as you said. I wish we had the opportunity then to middle school run track and do things like that. I think it was like a 6-year gap before I ran track again and that was a long gap. Imagine how far advanced I could have been with the teaching and the development. So that's a great vision. What are you getting on the results from kids that are going to high school that have been part of this for like 3 or 4 years? Well, what are you hearing the feedback on those kids that had started with you?
Well, more freshmen are ready for the varsity level. Also maturity level, which I think is more important. Their maturity level is a lot better. They're prepared. Academically, a lot of freshmen are not starting on that probation waiver because, it's a big jump from from middle school academics to high school academics. So a lot of times you'll see some freshmen, they'll get that first report card and the grades wouldn't suffice. So now we're seeing kids ready because we utilize that same platform at the middle school level where if a student has under a 2.0, we give them 1 grading period to get it up. Campus culture is changing. One thing that I'm really proud of is the evolution of female athletics because with us, we actually rolled out girls flag football in the spring, and it rolled right into high school when we first, I believe high school, we're in our 3rd season now. So we were the only school district in San Diego that did not have to partner with another school district to have leagues. So 15 of our 17 high schools had girls flag football in year 1, and we were able to host our own in-house leagues and not partner up with another school district as others did. So, and also the growth of wrestling. We're getting young ladies interested in wrestling at a younger level as well. So just the growth of the female sport as well as the mental preparedness for high school, the academic side of it for the children as well.
Let me ask you this question, going back to Park and Rec. Do you believe that nepotism and favoritism has hampered the growth of Park and Rec and not allow it to be the cultivative center that it used to be when we were growing up?
Yeah, I'm a long time coach. I started coaching at 19. I graduated high school at 17, so played a couple years of college football, and then I jumped into coaching because I needed a job. And I was blessed to partner with a gentleman named Marlon Wells and Ali Goldston and do AAU basketball or club basketball, whichever people go by. Back then it was limited. There wasn't a lot of teams. Now, if you look at AAU and club, those, in my opinion, have been the biggest impact to Park and Rec. Everybody has a basketball club team now. Everybody has a 7-on-7 team for football, volleyball, soccer. It's nonstop. So I believe, in my personal opinion, because of all of these teams and it's kind of watered down, it has hindered park and recreation. And, park and rec is a great avenue, especially for families that can't afford to travel, kids that need to play where it's a mandated playing time, things like that. So, again, I still push Park and Rec. I think it's a great entity. And yeah, I think it's been hindered because of so many club and AAU teams, and it's nonstop. And to add on to that, we're also losing our multi-sport athletes.
Yep.
A lot of these AAU teams are telling kids that, and families, you only need to play our sport. I love playing seasonal sports. I love playing football in the fall. I love playing basketball in the winter. And then I would jump into baseball. And I felt it was just great to have those different sports and different coaches and different teammates, connections. I just feel like we just don't have that anymore. And it is, really hindering, in my opinion, the great program, which is also Park and Rec.
So, with what you're doing in the middle school area, how is that leveling the playing field? Because I think that with the sports and the clubs and everything else, they price our children out of benefiting from them.
I totally agree with you on that. It's we're not funding, in my opinion, resources to make kids better. We're funding mortgages at that level. And don't get me wrong, there's some great programs out there. But as far as middle school goes, yes, we do have some kids and families that still participate in club at the same exact time. But we are getting a lot of kids that cannot afford club or do not have those same opportunities. And it is just, they're creating great relationships on their campus. But because of the design of the program with 38 schools, they are now meeting other families, kids from other communities. So, we have kids from Southeast San Diego that, we'll say Bell Middle, we'll say Knox Middle Millennial. They'll have a soccer game, for instance, at La Jolla High School or Mira Mesa High School, and vice versa. Maryland's Middle and La Jolla will come down and play at Morris High School. So we're crossing communities, we're crossing barriers, and we're doing a really good job, our coaches and our staff, with bringing kids from different communities together and fellowshipping.
My question will be, at the middle school level, how are we educating the athletes that want to go further in what they need to do to prepare for college, to prepare for the NCAA requirements and all of the things? What is the educational piece? That's the first question. Then the second question is, are we educating, especially our kids, on careers associated with the sports, but not on the playing field?
Two great questions. So yes, we are educating the kids with our high school coaches, and also we bring in outside parties to do clinics. And like right now, we have a great partnership with the Chargers as well as San Diego FC. But because our kids are seeing our high school coaches, a majority of our high school coaches, because we don't have 100% high school coaches participating, but we have a very high number. So they are understanding that the 2.0 requirement is just a bare minimum. We're teaching them that once you get to high school, every grading period is important, because the higher your academics, not only for sport, but for college in general, is free money for college. So we are definitely motivating kids to have over a 3.0. We do give out academic certificates at the middle school level. If you have over a 3.0, it's motivation. So our GPAs are rising. The education component is there because it's bigger than sport. Sport is just an avenue, another avenue to get to college. But like I tell kids, things that we want to, words we love at the high school level going into college is grants and scholarships.
Yeah.
We want to stay away from the word loan.
Yes.
So I also inform kids that if they are blessed to get a academic scholarship or better yet, an athletic scholarship, since we're talking athletics, that don't stop applying for other grants and scholarships because they can receive that money as well.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that. So I'm really big in pushing to our coaches, reminding kids that, hey, your academics is your paycheck. And I'm sorry, the second component of the question?
Second component of the question would be, as a former athlete myself, the only thing that we were pushed as black kids was the playing field, but we never were pushed on the other
Yes.
career paths that can be taken to allow you to still
Yes.
be involved with the game without being on the field.
So what we are pushing now is with our partnership with San Diego FC, which they have been wonderful since San Diego FC is our new Major League Soccer men's team. And since they've been in San Diego, they have been phenomenal, not only in the San Diego Unified community, but all of San Diego County. So one thing we're working with them now is they have access to our PE classes, our campuses, and now we're working at the high school level. Hopefully we can roll it out in the fall, but we're looking to work with our CCTE classes. So for instance, now in San Diego Unified, some of our high schools have teachers that have athletic training classes. We also have, at Robert School, for instance, Robert has a great media teacher over there that has the news station and teaches the kids all about, working in the news field,
Amazing.
video editing. So for us, that's called CCTE. So now
Yeah.
we're working with San Diego FC to bring their trainers to the high school campus to have these same kids that's in culinary go out to San Diego FC's facility and understand that the average daily calorie intake of a normal person is way different than an athlete. Also to work with our multimedia production team. So we're rolling out different avenues that's non-sport to where kids are being interested in being part of a sport entity, but not as per se the athlete.
Right.
Yeah, and the reason why I ask that is because, for us as African Americans, again, we were taught the field, but we were never encouraged to be the trainer or the coach or the owner or the groundskeeper
General
or the,
manager.
all of those things. And yet we see other people being trained in that. And like I told one of the kids, I said, I have a friend that played sports but never played on the NFL field, but he got 5 NFL rings. And they looked at me and said, how did he do it? I said, he was the agent. And as an agent, when your client wins, you get a ring too. And so I really want us to make sure that we are not making our kids only focus on the playing field, but to let them know all the other avenues they have at their disposal to be a part.
And to go with what he was saying for a few topics, I know for a fact that I've benefited from being a part of what he's done. I was the first coach for Marston Middle School, which is the feeder school to Claremont. And some of those kids who were champions and everything are now running for me. So that was the groundwork, and it allowed their parents to know me, and it allowed them to get to know me in my ways, because, I'm not the typical coach. And so I think it's a great partnership because it prepares kids. That's for one. For two, he was talking about, and you were talking about kids going in different directions outside of being the athlete. To go with what he said, Mr. Darren Sparks, who was the gentleman who was at San Diego High when they got the $1 million facility. He's now the same one at Claremont who has $1 million facility. And some of his kids are going with him to San Diego State to work behind the scenes for CBS, NBC, and I think the NCAA regionals is coming here for men's basketball. So they'll be shadowing those people that are working in that profession. And I want to reach out to Lonnie and say, I appreciate you because you're one of the only coaches in San Diego history to win a girls CIF at 3 different schools. He won at San Diego High. We worked together. He went to Mira Mason, won CIF, and then he worked at our alma mater, Lincoln, and won a CIF. Let's talk about you being a coach and how you transition from coaching with the vision to do something like coordinate middle school sports.
Being transparent, growing up in Southeast San Diego, again, Dr. LT, you hit it on the head with as African American athletes, minorities, that we are pushed for sport, and again, I'm very grateful for sport. Very grateful. I'm more grateful for attending Lincoln High School. Being honest, being mentored by Dot Robinson,
Yes.
Charlie Polk, David Hanula. I mean, I can go on and on. So, for me, Robert, sport was, in all honesty, what I call my distraction from destruction.
Yeah.
Because I was in a safe haven all the time. We all have issues growing up. I had issues at home and things like that. But just sport for me was just such a great outlet, was just such a blessing. And transitioning from playing a sport to coaching, honestly, I just fell in my lap. Like I said, I was trying to get a job at a young age at 19, help my family out. And I wanted to work in park and rec so I can get into the water department. Because everybody would tell you back then, if you want to get in the city of San Diego, get in park and rec,
Right.
and then transfer out. And they said I didn't have experience and I had to volunteer coach. That's how I got into coaching. And I didn't realize I had a gift for coaching until, again, working with Marshawn Cherry, Marlon Wells, Ollie Golston, guys like that. It just really blessed me. So I took those components, and the way I coached was the way I was mentored at Lincoln High School, which was, we love everybody. It's we're gonna be on you. We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna shower you with the truth, and we're gonna push you to be great and to leave your mark on this world. So again, just Lincoln High School and was just such a great place and foundation for myself. And it made coaching easy for me. It made the way I relate with people super, super easy to do. So, shout out to the Hornets and, again, those great men and women that, held those walls up and built that fence around the community and kept us all safe.
I agree. I am too also a beneficiary of the Lincoln High School. Got my first coaching job there through Miss Dot Robinson, who was the only African American woman that was athletic director of a high school program that was successful. Lincoln has been successful for years in many different sports, not just football. I want people to know that we've had good volleyball teams, good baseball teams, good track teams. So many kids that are CIF champions that people don't always necessarily hear about. But that school was very, very powerful for giving all of us the opportunity and a foundation on how to lead and how to mentor. They were tough, but it was tough love.
One of the things I also want to say is that Lincoln is definitely known as a sports powerhouse, but more than anything else, I think that people need to know them also as an academic
Yes, sir.
powerhouse. So many people that have come out of there and have gone on to do amazing things. And so I always try to encourage people, as much as we celebrate the sports at Lincoln, we need to continue to celebrate the academic achievements of the Lincoln High School Hornets, as well as any school. In our community, we have some great schools. Morris High School, great
people.
schools. School of Creative Performing Arts started in our community before they got their own campus. And we look at Crawford and the different schools that are there. That are there. We've just been very blessed as a community, to continue to move forward. And what I love about you, Brother Jones, is that you saw something that needed to be done.
Yes.
In a very unpopular, as an African American, we're not always received well. And when you're smart as an African American and you come in and you challenge the system for another greatness, it is not an easy challenge. But you have done it.
I know it's been a struggle.
Yeah, you have done it and you're navigating it, and we want the world to know, to continue to support you and go out there and let people know that we appreciate you.
How can we support you? Because I know being a part of the district in multiple capacities, as a worker and as a coach. How can we support you? What can we do to make sure that you're supported? Because you give, and I know for a fact because I work with you, and we want to encourage you because I know sometimes you may feel like you want to give up because you're trying to help the kids, but you're not getting support from maybe people in higher positions or whatever. What can we do to ensure that you keep this train rolling?
more than anything, we got to secure permanent funding, and that's what the district is working on now, because the program is grant funded.
Mm.
So the district is working, and we have the data to prove that this program needs to stay.
Hmm.
It is just so overwhelming. I consult other school districts. They give me calls all the time. I present at conferences about the program. So the support we need as far as a program, if people are interested in coaching and they have a coaching resume,
Hmm.
would definitely love for you guys to share, my email address out with people. Our district website, which is sdusdathletics.com. Have them go on there, see what we got going. Again, would love just to keep shaking hands, walking through doors. So any doors you gentlemen can open or communities can open, I would more than willing to walk through, have meetings, and see how we can network to continue to grow the program. Because there's so many different ways this can go, which are all positive. So again, I take all meetings. I reply to all emails. So yeah, if I could just if we can be blessed with just some more open doors, that's probably the vague answer, the easiest thing to say.
Well,
I'm more than willing to walk through it.
We're going to need you to give your email address and your contact information. But before you do that, I want to ask a question. You said we need permanent funding. How much are we talking about? Are we talking about flip your camera back? You blurred out.
I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Give me one moment.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There we go. I think I got this. There we go. Sorry about that,
That's
gentlemen.
okay.
My question to you is, what type of money are we talking about? Are we talking about 3 or 4 million? Are we talking about 10 million? Yeah. What's the number we're looking at?
So yearly we operate off of 1.7 million, and that's putting roughly 6,000 kids in uniform, paying coaches, paying custodians for facilities. So we're looking at about 1.7 a year, which is pennies. The way we run this program, and we service 38 schools.
Well, let me just jump in and say simply this: if you're looking for a strong academic program, where kids' grades will go up because they want to play and they want to be competitive, this is a good investment. $1.7 million. And so for all of the philanthropists that are out there that are hearing this and want to be a part of this, we want you to contact Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, can tell us your email address and how they can get in touch with you again.
So my email address is ljones, Jones, the number 3 at Sandy, SANDI.net. Again, ljones3 at Sandy, SANDI.net.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Robert O'Dean, any final questions?
Harold Allen, the brother of Marcus Allen and Michelle Allen, we all know them. He does a lot of different fundraisers, and he's a big philanthropy person. He wants to meet you. He said, I would love to meet this man personally, so I'll definitely hook you two up together. But I think it's very, very important because I see and know that other states have been doing this forever. I have friends from Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida. They've had middle school sports for years. It's kind of unfortunate that San Diego Unified, the second largest in California, is just now jumping on board to something like this. But it took somebody like you to have the wherewithal to go forth and do what you do. So we definitely applaud you. And we applaud those who allowed you to bring this dream to fruition. You've helped so many people. Let's just look at Amy Calloway, who is the director of women's basketball at San Diego State University, a program that's doing really, really well. She was one of the kids you mentored. Paris Johnson, who was 4-time defensive player from Mountain West, who's now the coach at the Bishops. She was one of the young people you work with. Tanisha Ridley, who works for the correctional officer of Los Angeles. She was one of the beneficiaries of you. So you have blessed and put so much into other people. We pray that God will turn it around for you and that you will get everything that you need and that doors will fly open all across the world for you, because we appreciate you.
I appreciate that, Robert. And gentlemen, do you mind if I touch on one more point that Robert just mentioned?
Help
Sure.
yourself.
So Robert mentioned that in Arkansas, Texas, I always tell people everything east of Texas, sports at a younger level is humongous. If you go to some of the middle schools there, they're connected to the high schools. They have their own facilities. To be clear, and to shed some positive light on this, this wasn't a San Diego Unified thing on not wanting to do it. This was a east of Texas deal, all the way to California, where it wasn't there as a whole. And San Diego Unified decided to be groundbreaking and to run it as organized athletics. So, yeah, I just want to, definitely shout out San Diego Unified for doing that wonderful job and supporting the vision and setting the bar for the state of California in general, because there are middle school opportunities in other school districts, but it's just not ran like ours, the full athletic component that's in the vertical alignment with high school. So that's why we are getting contacted by other schools, is because the way we are running it is just, it's next level. And, our support team has been tremendous. So, again, I just want to touch base on that San Diego Unified definitely opened the door to force other school districts to step up and to, provide something similar. And hopefully, other districts can do better. So that way it makes me work harder to be better again, to be back on top. So I believe iron sharpens iron.
That's a fact.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here in San Diego and around the world, you have met none other than Lonnie Jones. He is doing some fabulous things. Please get out and reach out and contact him at ljones3 at sandi.net. And let's continue to see our young people continue to grow. Athletics, academics, strength, mind, body, and spirit. Right here on GOD Radio 1.com.